Welcome to episode 310 of the Bad Taste Video Podcast. I'm Mike. I'm here with Grizz. We may have survived the heat dome, but the cast of this week's movie didn't really survive theirs. But before that, let's hit the intro. You know, I was just thinking as I watched that, I feel like I owned a Jack in the Box as a kid, but I feel like it didn't work, and I don't remember it ever actually working. Did you ever?
I think they all broke eventually. I definitely had one that I think it probably worked when I first got it, but I definitely fucking broke it somehow. It didn't last long, man.
What a creepy fucking toy.
Old school. I had like a fucking cheap one. Like fucking mine was mostly like plastic and shit, I think, man. Like I feel like these like old school ones that are, you know, tin made might be a little bit more substantial.
More robust.
But more robust.
For everybody listening via podcast, we are covering 1987's Blood Frenzy. A trip into the desert with a bunch of crazies equals murder, as per usual. Nothing ever good comes from the desert. Right, especially in horror movies.
Gold in their hills.
In like horror movies, dude, nothing ever good comes from the desert. Nothing. No. This one, it's a VHS classic, a movie that I've never owned. Pretty hard to come by, I think, still in 2024.
For sure.
You don't really see too many of them, at least complete copies of that nice. It's got like a foil cover, right? Doesn't it have like the logo and everything? The actual title is in foil.
I don't know if it's an actual gatefold box, but it's something like that. It's like that in between a fucking big box and a regular slipcase. It's like a weird size, I'm pretty sure, like that releases.
Like Toxic Zombies, how it's like that in
between. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's like a weird,
but
weird size.
A pretty good movie to cover after we just went through a fucking 8-day heat wave or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, dude. Jesus.
Fucking brutal, man. So at one point, my AC unit, we have central air. My AC unit's like kind of old. But at one point I'm like, oh, fuck, it's like 76. And I have it set to like 72 around there.
Struggling.
Well, I look outside and I'm like, wow, it looks pretty hot. I look at the fucking like weather thing. It's like, oh, it's like 104 degrees out. I think it's actually doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's actually not bad considering the circumstance. That's how like everything was, man. Like I know there was like rolling blackouts and shit around me because everybody was using fucking so much of like the energy from like running ACs and stuff like that. That's a fucking scary thought, man. Like,
yeah, that's one thing I do enjoy about living in the area that I live in now is that there isn't such a strain on the grid where I am.
Oh, I bet where you were. Yeah, that was probably fucking even worse, man.
Oh, yeah. Back in New York, it was like whenever there was like a real bad heat wave or something, your power was going out for some reason. Always happening. If there was some sort of storm or whatever, power's going out. It's it's the above ground fucking power lines. That shit is a killer, man. My power lines are buried here, and my power never goes out anymore. It's great. I love it.
I have above ground lines still, and I definitely get plenty of fucking power outages, man. I fucking hate that.
Yeah, well,
I get like, dude, like my shit'll fucking go off for like a second, it just fucking everything will shut off.
Jolts.
And I'll hear like my neighbor's fucking generator turn on. So I'm like, all right, well, it's not just me. And then the fucking shit just turns right the fuck back on.
I think a lot of that stuff is things like hitting the transformers or bouncing off the lines where like it may jostle the connection. I don't know. That's just my like armchair linesman diagnosis. When
There's
shit
too
like
many
that
electronics
happens.
plugged in for that shit, dude. It's fucking.
Oh, hey, man, make sure you have all your
expensive.
make sure you have your good shit in a fucking nice surge protector. If you think there's going to be like a bad thunderstorm, unplug your shit. That's the safest thing you can do because it will fry your stuff. I've seen it fry like home networks, like, like home labs, like people's fucking everything servers just gone. Just from the electricity going up the wires. Yeah, it's a scary fucking thing. But I don't think these people had to worry about thunderstorms this week when they were in the middle of the fucking desert. And I think at one point the girl says it's 114 degrees or something like that. Holy shit. Yeah. So blood frenzy. We have a psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever, taking a group of disturbed people out into the desert to face their fears somehow. I thought like usually you bring them on like Maury Povich and like make them hold a snake or something. But this woman thinks it's better to bring them into a dangerously hot environment with a pretty unknown outcome, almost like a Friday the 13th part 5 type thing. Like it's never good to have like a group of disturbed people in the woods together.
Themselves, isolated.
It doesn't turn out well. I mean, granted, it was Roy, but still. Joey gets the axe from Victor, which is not a good thing.
This movie was fun, man. I like this. This is written by the same guy that did Evil Spawn, so it's got a fucking it's got someone who's got some actual decent horror mentality behind writing it, and I think that comes across pretty well because it's a solid story. Directed by Hal Freeman, dude. Tell me what you know. You know anything about this fucking Hal Freeman guy and how important he is?
Is it because he was, I guess, the financier of the Caught from Behind series?
I mean that's like that stands by itself as a hallmark achievement in this man's career. But what really puts Hal Freeman on the map is this man essentially legalized hardcore porn in California in 1989.
Interesting.
So he was fucking, brought up on charges of obscenity and like, prostitution and stuff based on the way that he had contracts with these people he's a porn director, obviously. This is his only fucking movie he's ever made that's not a porn movie. He died in 89. But he was charged by California. Supreme Court got involved and they fucking everything got overturned and everything like that. And because of this guy's case, he has made it legal ever since 1989 to make porn in California, where let's face it, that's probably where 80% of our world's porn is probably made is in California.
I'm looking at his IMDb credits, and a lot of this man's pornography is rated higher than most of the movies we watch most of these weeks, by like a substantial amount.
He had an eye for the business, man. He knew what he was doing.
Hey, this guy knew what was up. Man,
a lot of butt innuendos in the titles of his movie.
Rich Bitch, Sinfully Yours. Rich Bitch actually has a 7.6 on IMDb.
See? I know what I'm talking
about. This guy knew. I'm not even gonna say this one, but yeah, blood frenzy. So, like I said, this woman, she decides that like the best treatment for this group of crazies is to bring them into the fucking desert, and they can face their fears that have nothing to do with the desert. Pretty interesting premise. It's probably one of the best, like I guess, paced, low budget slashers I've ever seen in my life.
That's what I said too. This is so easy to get down with. It's a quick watch. It's like hour 20.
It says it's an hour 30 on IMDb. It does not feel that long.
Doesn't feel that way. Because that's like I'm never bored watching it. I'm not a huge slasher guy either, but man, like there's just something that's very genuinely well made about this movie. Though it's easy to fucking get through, and it caught my attention because it's like I got thrown for a loop pretty early in this movie of who I thought the fucking killer was. Man, like I had a suspect in my head, as we'll like meet all these characters and stuff, and I was way off. So I think that helped me like invest more into this movie because I was like, well, if that's the fucking not the person, who could it possibly be now?
Yeah.
But what you just saw in the opening title credits of the Blood Frenzy credits there, the dad with its fucking neck all hacked up. I do have the clip of what happens before the title credits, just so you can see the setup of like what's happened in the past, basically.
Yeah. Now, here's something I want to interject here. Apparently, I don't know if this is true, but the VHS may not be the exact cut that we're seeing here. Maybe. Apparently, I don't know if the US copy was like this, but I read somewhere that it was cut, or at least
this opening.
Well, not the opening, but like the whole movie. Apparently,
it's not even that like.
I don't
crazy.
know. I don't know. But if somebody could confirm with us who owns the tape. Yeah, like is this shit as graphic as it was? But let's roll this clip here. So the dad is an abusive piece of shit, and somebody is holding it's like a garden hoe or something like that.
Yeah, very sharp one.
Yeah, and it just starts ripping at his throat like a fucking Lucio Fulci movie. That noise he's making, he has.
I love the bubbling. It's great.
Yeah, he has this fucking garden implement like implanted in his throat, and you see the skin and everything moving with it, and the blood pouring out. What an opening shot, man! That is how you start a movie. It lets you kind of know what you're in for, right? You know it's going to be something pretty graphic because they don't pull away at all. You see everything, and it's insanely fucking bloody. And there's a few sequences. We have one of the clips later on where like the blood is like comically squirting out. Like the PSI of the blood is far beyond what the human heart would be doing.
It's the best though. Yeah, and that's what gives it that like sputtering effect. I was like, because the actual like effect itself isn't that great, but to have at least that in it like makes it fucking cool. It's like not the most graphic neck slice you'll ever see, but it's pretty good for this time period.
And everybody's like screaming is almost like Haunted House-ish, like something from like a fucking soundtrack. Sure. Like they all had to do it in post, like after the fact. It's like, give me a fucking whale. I need like a whale. And they did it after, and they like implanted it over. And that's what makes me also makes it feel like a Fulci film. You know what I mean? Like it's got that like
color wise too. It kind of feels like a Fulci film, like the color like of the blood and stuff like that, and then just like the film texture feels like very much the same.
The shittiness of the film texture. Yeah. I have to say that this does look professionally made. It is.
Yeah. No, this isn't like a shot on video movie or anything.
Well, like it's not like a fucking Todd Sheets looking like zombie rampage type movie. What is this?
See what it was shot on.
Is this a shot on video film? This might actually be shot on video, bro.
Really?
It is shot on video.
So it's like very well. Like it looks great.
We both probably seem like fucking morons right now. But
I always seem like a moron. I don't give a fuck. Ain't nothing new.
Let's see. I don't fucking know. Whatever. But you know what, man? Somebody in the chat let us know. I think it was. I think this is if it's not, it's 16 millimeter, right? It has to.
That was my initial instinct was to say that it was a 16 millimeter because it doesn't look like super shot on video, but it doesn't look like it's obviously like Hollywood production or anything like that either.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I still can't find anything that says.
What I do like about this movie though is that like it has this like fun cast. I guess they're fun in a way. They're all like troubled, so I think that's fun for me. But like you have this Vietnam veteran guy who's like dealing with PTSD from the war and shit like that. You have this kind of nymphomaniac blonde chick who just like wants to hook up with everybody that she fucking comes in contact with. The the one girl who's just like a bitch. So like she has like an attitude problem. The one is like an introvert, and then there's this asshole guy Ash, who's just like this big macho guy who fucking is very confrontational and stuff
Looks
like
like
that.
a townie, a townie bar guy.
Yeah, for sure. Then there's my favorite guy, Crawford, who is just a fucking alcoholic. He's a simple man. And I got a little clip just to introduce you to this fella, and it kind of gives you the vibe of this clinical trip that they're on.
I can get into that.
We'll find out what's behind that macho mask of yours, Ash.
This guy looks like an
And
asshole.
Mr. Crawford? Mr. Crawford,
For sure.
we'll deal with your drinking problem.
Hey, I get drunk. I pass out. This is no problem.
No problem, dude. No problem.
That's fucking brutal. Cemetery of Chill. Are boom mics used in SOV? Yeah, well, it's possible. You could still record audio externally. That is a thing, right? Yeah. I don't know.
I'm sure.
I'm trying to get
Boom it up.
confirmation. I'm trying to get confirmation from the Lord of all
Like something
movies.
hot.
Yeah, the Lord of all films, EK from the Laser Graves podcast. But yeah, you see
You
like
would know.
you see like the cast of characters. Oh, we have another. The VHS expert is saying.
Oh shit! That
saying, I
guy.
don't
That's
think
who.
it
That was
was.
gonna be my next guest to
Yeah,
go to.
I think it might be 16 millimeter.
Yeah, that's what I think.
But it shows the cast of characters pretty much like any other slasher. Like they give you that lead into the killing zone or whatever the hell you want to call it. Everybody just kind of says their shit, does their shtick, plays up their gimmick. And they do it in a comical way. Like this guy is like over the top drunk
sure.
asshole, fucking drinking the whole time, a slovenly looking guy. The dude,
Everybody's over the top, man. Like every one of their characters is like that at full volume. It's like the dude with PTSD is like really like getting into these flashbacks while he's driving and shit, and like he's like potentially gonna kill everybody because he's fucking going like 100 down these desert roads and shit.
Yeah, he's having like Combat Shock-esque flashbacks as he's driving this fucking Winnebago, and his foot is like going down to the floor, like, and you see the thing going faster and faster. He's like a real tortured soul.
I like how like the blonde info girl is like, "Oh, speed turns me on," and she starts getting all like undressed and shit.
Yeah,
dude. That's what I'm saying. Like these characters are all just like so exaggerated of what it would really be.
Yeah, like at one point she's like, "I wonder what it's like to kill somebody," or she says something like that, right? Like something to that effect. Like she's just over the top. Needs
Red
like
hair.
She's got this like weird like stimulation type thing, but it's a strangely likable cast, right? Like you don't really want to see anybody die except the asshole. Except the asshole. He could.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's actually like a fair balance of being like they're likable, but they're also like kind of like you have ones that you root for and you have ones that you root against at certain times and shit. So I think that makes it's a good balance of being like you have somebody that you want in the corner, but you have somebody that you want to die, like this Ash dude, which ultimately sets off this entire like event of shit that happens because there's a lot of like conflict between this Ash guy and the Vietnam vet. There's a lot of tension being built up.
The two alpha males going at it.
So like you already have it in your head that these two people are like having this fucking beef. Everyone's going to bed for the night, and of course the fucking blonde chick and this Ash guy end up like hooking up.
Kind of weird.
Which was weird, bro.
Couple.
I was like, damn, she really will fucking do anything, because like that's a rough glove that she fucking got into.
Filmed in 35 millimeter.
Damn. That's why it looks so good.
Whatever. It could have been cut down for the VHS. Who the fuck knows? Oh, the movie cover says it. There you go.
I'm a bitch.
Some bitch.
Me over here.
Yeah. So I do like the cast though, like I said, and the way that they hide the killer. Well, really only the one, because the one is only revealed at the end, really. But they do a really good job. Like before we like go any further into the movie, Who did you think was the killer?
So I'm trying to get her name here. What the hell was it? I thought it was Jean. That's who I thought the killer was. She was the mousy, kind of quiet girl.
The one that didn't want to be touched or whatever, right?
One that didn't want to be touched by anybody. I thought that was her because, like, in the beginning, I'm like, okay, that little girl kind of looks like her if she was grown up, I guess. But also, I could, like, see her having, like, that kind of, like, trauma from what we saw of, like, how her dad beat the shit out of her and, like, all this stuff. Like, I'm like, okay, you know, she probably does have, like, something like that potentially going on. So I felt like she was just like that little girl grown up. I'm like, she has to be the killer. She's a quiet one, the most inconspicuous. You know, I thought that was definitely going to be like, you know, haha, you know, we got you. She was the fucking actual killer. But they set it up to make you think that fucking the Vietnam guy
that's who I
is
thought
the killer
it was,
right away.
Yeah, that's who
you thought it was him.
Like towards the middle of the movie, I thought it was him. In the beginning, like from when when it starts like really like rolling, I thought maybe it could be like the psychiatrist was like involved somehow. Because like that was kind of like a thing at the time. You know what I mean? You have to expect that sort of shit. But then like I started leaning towards the fucking Vietnam dude until he has a certain scene. And then it's like, huh. It wasn't
Rick. That's the Vietnam guy.
Yeah, Rick.
Yeah.
It wasn't him. But, you know, they do a good job in leading you to believe it's other people, which is an awesome thing. A lot of times they telegraph it. Right, like you could tell right away who the fuck the guilty person is, or whatever.
Which is like, I don't know, that takes a lot of bit of the the fun out of it for me. I liked the mystery of this one. I like that it it kept me guessing. We do have Rick's death, right? I'm pretty sure we got a fucking a clip of Rick getting the old "Who's your father?"
No, I don't think we have a clip of him, of Rick, the Vietnam dude. I don't think we have that one.
Yeah, we have Ash getting killed. We got not Rick. Sorry, I'm talking about Ash. He doesn't get killed.
No.
Spoiler.
The asshole dude. Yeah, he gets fucking attacked in the night, like he's getting killed by a ninja. Right? This is pretty awesome.
And this is the first kill that we see once they're like out in the desert secluded.
Yeah, they have their campground or whatnot. So you see this
gigantic
too.
He's like, ready to relax.
Gigantic tent, right? That's huge.
Couldn't get enough, huh?
So he thinks it's the woman coming back, and instead he gets his fucking throat graphically cut. They show the knife going across. They show the skin splitting. There's blood and everything.
Playing into it real well.
Yeah, he's making that noise like he's choking on a dude, but
choking.
Yeah. It's really I like the whole like gloved killer, right? With the
it's
knife.
A mystery.
Yeah, and you're not really sure who did it. You're not sure if it's only one person, two people. Everybody's a suspect, right? Especially since they keep like breaking up, right? Like the group keeps like going off on whatever bullshit, like, oh, we're gonna go look for this, we're gonna go look for that, we're gonna go try to find this person, we're gonna go. It's like, stop fucking stay together.
And who wants to be the person that goes off with like someone you don't know and you don't trust when people are dying? It's like, now I'm gonna be secluded with the fucking potential killer. That's bullshit. It's the last thing I'm doing in that situation.
Oh yeah, of course, because like, of course, my luck, I would be with the fucking...
I get the fucking killer. Yeah, dude.
God damn, why couldn't I be with the good person? Like, God fucking...
Yeah, right? I gotta fight my way out of this one.
Hopefully I'm the killer. Then maybe that'll make me feel
I'm
better.
That's one way to solve this. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. What's that thing? What are the odds of two killers being in the car?
Yeah.
It's like, damn, motherfucker. All right. It was another kill that I fucking really enjoyed, and we spoke about it a little bit before with the projectile fucking blood when Crawford gets stabbed up in the cave, the mine or whatever. Like this kill, everybody who's listening at home isn't going to get the full effect of this because it's like really a visual thing, and it's like comically bloody, not in a volume, but in like the pressure of it. You know what I mean? So let me roll this.
I think I prefer high pressure blood than amounts of blood, to be honest with you.
I agree. So he finds that Jack in the Box. He's pretty amused by it for some reason, but I'd be kind of scared. But he gets stabbed from behind. He makes a dopey ass face. But as he's getting stabbed, the blood starts shooting out at like 120 psi. You can see it on his hands, like, and going onto the toy. Holy shit. I love it, man. I love it. It makes me fucking laugh. I had to watch this a couple times for this episode, and every time he dies, it just fucking makes me laugh.
That's so funny.
Well, really, technically, that's not his death, because they have a pretty brutal scene where he comes and like goes back to the Winnebago or whatever, where everybody is, and he's
all diced up.
Yeah, he's all fucking stabbed up. We actually have a clip of it because it's pretty fucking gross. So the girls that are like all holed up in the Winnebago think it's maybe the killer. They all have knives in their hands. He opens the door, like stumbling in, holding the toy. He holds it up, but you see like his stomach is cut open. Yeah. He is just.
That's great too, how it pops open, the fucking Jack in the Box.
He is carved up. What a good looking fucking effect. And he just falls to the side because you know that there's a pad there. That was awesome. I love that.
It's awesome.
You don't know who's coming, and you think he's dead in the mine, but he managed to walk about 300 yards, which is pretty fucking pretty impressive in that condition, especially in 100%. The heat. Damn, man.
And see, all the people at this point, they think that their impression is that it's Rick. They are, it's easy to kind of put that all together. He's having these flashbacks. He and fucking Ash had this problem, so he fucking killed Ash. Then he fucking, after Ash's death, he just fucking goes for a walk and like disappears. So it's like this big fucking mystery surrounding this guy. Fucking Crawford comes back sliced up like a piece of fucking bologna. So now like all hell's breaking loose. So, I mean, I'm thinking that's like, the obvious person being Rick is not the person that it has to be. There's no way it could be, but that'd be a pretty shitty fucking way to play the movie out, in my opinion. So that's why I thought it was Jean. I'm like, this has to be this fucking Jean girl. She's mousy. She reminds me of this fucking girl in the beginning. But then I got twisted, man. I got the whole fucking swerve.
She gets cut up, bro.
Yeah. I was like, damn, mid-movie she gets cut up.
Her death is pretty brutal too. Right? She gets fucking
good, man. Yeah.
Let's roll that clip. So she's also in the mine. This shouldn't be called like Death Mine, right? Everybody dies in this mine.
Easy name change.
Yeah.
Blood Mine.
Yeah, but she's fucking standing there. Somebody's inching closer to her, and they cut her throat. And it looks like the Abomination, like when the girl gets her throat cut, sitting by the tree.
It looks great though, the lighting and everything. Oh, Crawford's alive still in that scene, but he dies right after.
Yeah. Retro release video. What's up? What's up? I do like all the throat slits in this. I feel like they got better as they went along. You know what I mean?
Like it's like the main. It's the main killing in the entire movie is just done by throat slits. It's like in the beginning, the guy gets his throat cut, and everything we've seen from that point on here has pretty much been the throat cut minus the belly slice open, but we don't get to see that happen.
No.
The only thing we really see so far is these they're good looking throat cuts. I'm not mad at it.
Well, when the girl gets what's her name, Cassie, gets like tied up, they cut her stomach. We have that clip. They kind of like torture her a bit. It's kind of fucked up. Reminded me of Tourist Trap a little bit, but more violent. Right? Like how they had
this is like the blonde girl, right? This is yeah.
So they're like fucking running the blade down her torso, and you see it cut through the skin and everything. Surprise! The killer. What the hell's her name?
Dory.
It's her and her fucking brother who escaped the loony bin. Oh my god! She also gets her throat cut. Yeah, the blood actually flowing out of the what would you call that? What do they call that?
A wound?
Well, like in like special effects. What are they? What are
Oh
they?
yeah, a prosthetic.
Yeah. That's it, man. They have the blood flowing out of the prosthetic. Looks awesome. What a fucking
does.
horrific scene, right? You got this
What's-
huge, like mutant looking dude because it's the desert, so there's got to be a mutant guy.
Yeah,
And
I've been hanging out there a long time.
Yeah.
Sunburnt.
she's got like a demented look on her face. Like they added like black makeup around her eyes, right, to make her look even more crazy.
What I love about her too, man, is that that's the fucking original Wednesday Addams from fucking the very first like Addams Family show.
No
Like
shit.
that's the little girl that
Like
was
the black
was
and white
Wednesday
one?
Addams. Yeah, the black and white one. That's
no
Wednesday Addams.
shit. No
Yeah,
shit,
that's Dory.
There
She's
you
the
go.
killer, man.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
good connection.
Not Dory Funk though. Not to be
No,
confused.
no.
to
Yeah.
be confused.
Don't confuse them. Also, yeah.
I do enjoy the final battle though between Rick, who faked his death by having a Vietnam flashback with a piece of dynamite, and they presumably see him explode, but he
They
didn't.
don't see him explode.
He said, "I just had to die for a while." It's like, damn, dude.
That's,
cool as
a
fuck.
good line.
But the final battle between them is pretty good, right?
Yeah,
It's-
and like it's a cool reveal too because they cut back to like the beginning of like the movie where she's killing her father, and then what we didn't see before is that her brother is there, and they're having like this bonding moment, and the brother gets blamed
he took the blame, right? That was it.
for the murder. So that's why he was locked up. He was put away and shit like that because they thought he was crazy for killing his dad. And obviously she's like been harboring him, and they're having this like revenge tour, fucking 87, and they're fucking making it happen.
Hey, did they ever explain how he got there?
No, definitely not.
He just like appeared in
Took a
the
trolley.
cave. Yeah, like he used like the hollow earth to get to wherever the fuck
that's
they
it.
are. Because I was at first like, was that Rick? I was like, wait, no, that can't be. Different shirt, different clothes, different teeth. That's not him.
Mutant face.
I'm
Yeah.
like, and then I'm thinking like, how the fuck did this motherfucker get here? What the hell? What the fuck happened?
Quantum leaped to the fucking
Yeah.
mind, dude, and fucking.
Yeah. But let's roll some clips of this final battle because it's pretty epic and it's a pretty even fight for a while, right? You don't know what's gonna happen. So you have the two females fighting.
Oh no, not Dory.
Yeah, Dory takes a blade right to the throat. And
Good bear hug.
yeah, he's
Classic, dude.
Rick's getting bear hugged like he's fucking fighting Bruno Sammartino at the Garden. And he does
He
the
boxed his ears.
double ear box, man. The most effective fucking weapon against anybody. Potentially
That neck stab is fucking awesome, though.
brutal, man. Brutal. But that's not the end of the brutality because Bruno, unfortunately, gets the vampire treatment. Him and Rick are fighting over the sign.
Nine sign.
The Acme danger sign. They're fighting
That's
over it.
exactly what it is.
And Rick uses it as a weapon and impales Dory's brother with it.
It's great.
Brutal looking. He's still alive too. Pretty realistic. Oh, no.
That sound he made is good
Yeah.
too, man. I like that.
It's
guttural.
pretty realistic though that like you wouldn't die right away with a wound like that. Like he took it kind of like in the upper stomach area. You would be alive for a minute or so. You wouldn't just fucking. I guess maybe you could pass out from the pain or the shock. Maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
But this
Shock
dude,
out.
this dude didn't seem like that would have bothered him. He seemed like he was he was off his rocker.
That mutant strength.
Yeah. Now here's something that I wish happened. I was hoping that there was like a double fake out at the end, and like Rick also was gonna be like a killer.
Yeah, that'd been cool. Then he like fucking turns on the doctor and fucking steals the Winnebago and drives off.
Dude, that would have been
great.
sick. That would have been fucking
Yeah.
awesome. I was really shocked how much I liked this movie, dude. I was
good,
really
man.
I was really
Yeah.
shocked. I have never seen it before. I know that's like sacrilege. It was one of those things where I was like, oh, I'll watch it when I find the tape. Then eventually you realize you're never gonna find the tape. So you just say, all right, I gotta fucking just watch the movie.
Yeah, fucking watch it.
And this was probably one of the better slashers from like the late 80s that I could think of. Like I would recommend this to anybody to watch.
This is any horror fan could get into this movie, dude. It's as good as any other fucking like 80s slasher, like Madman or something like that. This is as fucking good as that movie.
Yeah, and especially since like you don't have too many like desert type horror films, right? Only a few films really take place there. Yeah, it's definitely like an unused.
Savage Harvest. That's another fucking. It's a good desert movie, right?
No, that wasn't the desert. They were in the woods for that one. Yeah, that was the one where they're like camping.
What's the one? What's the fucking? Oh man, maybe you're right.
John Carpenter's Vampires.
That's not what I'm thinking about.
I really think it's like a cool setting for shit because it's so desolate, and like certain areas, there's like really nobody living there. It's like very sparsely populated. A lot of bad shit could happen, and like your neighbors wouldn't even know, and that's kind of a scary thought, right? Like there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. Granted, you got cell phones now, but in certain places, you still got spotty coverage, even in 2024. I mean, when we went to WrestleMania in Texas, you would drive for 45 minutes with no fucking reception when like you were in the area with like the big ranches and all that stuff. I'm hoping they remedied that, but I could see that being pretty fucking dangerous for people. Relying on the landline, right? Or this fucking satellite phone, maybe.
Oh my God.
I don't know. But that was Blood Frenzy.
It was.
Definitely
good.
recommend it. You could fucking find that at pretty much anywhere at this point, right? It's widely available on the internet. One day I hope to still find the VHS tape, but I'm not really holding my breath, man. I feel like that's one that everybody knows is worth money, even if they haven't seen the movie. They like know the tape.
Well, it's a unique box and shit too, man. So like, I don't know. Your initial instinct is to think that it's special in some way because it doesn't look like all the rest, man. Like, you know, that's usually how you would like when I first saw Toxic Zombies, I was like, what the fuck is this box, man?
Yeah.
I was like, what? You know, like that's what caught my attention first.
I like it, but sometimes it throws off your the feng shui of
It
your
sucks on
tape
the shelf. Dude, yeah, it fucking sucks on a shelf. But then you get into like buying European tapes and everything's fucking weird sizes and like
I was just gonna
you just
say,
get over it.
yeah,
You
like
get
you
the
got
fucking do it.
you got like fucking shelves of European like PAL, like splatter clamshells, and they're all a different size.
All different
They're
sizes.
all different sizes.
Even Japanese shit's all fucking different sizes, dude.
Yeah,
So-
there's multiple sizes of those boxes too. It's kind of a pain in the ass, man. You know,
drives me nuts a little bit. But,
you know what
it is
sucks
it is.
too? Like when you have like a series of tapes or whatever, and like just one or two of them is like an awkward size or shape or whatever, and it like throws off the
You want
whole
to put them
fucking.
all together because like they're all part of the same fucking series.
Mm-hmm.
But that one looks stupid as fuck because they put it
Yeah.
in a goddamn different fucking box. Dude, I
Yeah.
don't even want to talk about this.
Yeah, or like they changed the spines at one point. It's like, come the fuck on.
Oh, so it looks weird. Yeah, dude, like let's make this all cohesive until we get done. Like, what are we doing, man?
Dude, one thing I gotta say is that the original, well, like I guess all of them pretty much, the Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes, they used to like make a fucking picture, like the spines would actually be like a fucking thing. Like that's how you do it, man. It was all
That
it
was big in like the fucking DVD box sets. Used to do a lot of that. I
Yeah.
like the Freddy Krueger one, where
Yeah.
like makes his arms fucking spread out on the one
Yeah,
side and shit.
that was a VHS one also. There's a
Oh,
couple
yeah, they
of them
did that
out
with
there,
the-
but not as many as those. Jesus Christ, I really do like the aesthetic of that though. Like you have a nice big box set, and like all the fucking spines make a picture of
Yeah,
something.
my face is a death VHS box that has like the fucking when you put it all together, it creates like that Grim Reaper fucking logo
Yeah.
on the side of it and shit.
Yeah.
It was badass.
That's pretty sick. That's another thing. That's another like franchise where the tapes are all different sizes.
Oh yeah, clamshells, fucking spine. Yeah, dude, they're all different shit.
That's just how it is. Grizz, but it's time we head over to the wide world of metal. And this
Sure.
week, this
You're in
week,
control.
here we go. This week, Grizz said that I had to do a Sodom-like song. I tried to do like an Agent Orange era Sodom. Not
it.
something I ever tried to do before. I can't do the vocals. Very hard for me. I realized I like fucked up the mix of the vocals, but I don't really care at this point because I wasn't going to do it again. You only have so much time to work on this sort of stuff, but I think I did an okay job. I said in our group chat, 7 out of 10.
Dude, I think that's, I think that's very, I think the music is a fucking 10 out of 10. Like, you nailed the sound. The fucking riffs that you put together here are fucking killer. The solo might be one of the better ones that I've heard you fucking record. Honestly, like, this shit was pretty fucking solid, man. Like you said, like the vocals that's like the hardest part of any of these, man. Is like, one, a good vocal mix is kind of hard to fucking, nail down. And two, trying to like replicate a fucking, vocalist or anything like that we don't sing. We're not fucking singers.
Yeah, I can't.
By, any stretch of the means. So I think that's going to be the hardest aspect of this to, if we continue to do these challenges, is like, how do we do these vocals? You had talked at one point about potentially doing a country song.
See, I feel like that would be easy though, because you can do it in almost like a comically.
But we can't play it. No, I'm not gonna let you get away with parodying like country, dude. Like, if we're gonna do it, I want to hear your fucking best foot forward. This is. I don't care if you do like a fucking Hank Williams-esque country song, but like, I need to fucking feel like you're really
like trying. Yeah, all right,
helping it out.
All right.
Which is the toughest part. And I think you did a fucking awesome job with those things being considered for this track, man. Like, I was legitimately impressed that it came out this good.
Hey, if you're out there and you're a vocalist, get at us. We could just have you do vocals for us every week. How about that?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Way easier.
But here is my Blood Frenzy song. We won't play the whole thing because I don't want to sit here for 3 minutes. We'll listen up to the solos, and then that'll be that.
I want to hear the fucking solos. So.
Yeah, but all right, here we go. Blood Frenzy.
This riff rules so hard.
I'm gonna lower it a little bit. And in case you're wondering, this is all DI. So the magic of computers. But you do have to spend money. Yeah, I buried the vocal so you can't hear it. Yeah.
You're not bad though, dude.
It's not my thing.
This riff, musically, it's so accurate. Like what I asked you to do.
This is where I feel like I nailed it. From here on, I feel like I nailed it. Oh, thank you, Retro Release Video.
It's a good transition too. Yeah, this fucking rules so good, dude.
This is where I it's like my forte.
Dude, honestly, if you got the fucking vocal mix on this good, it would sound so much better too. The vocals aren't bad at all, man.
I know how I could fix it, but I'll do it next weekend. I'll let you know. The solo's coming up, though. I'm pretty proud of this.
This is sick. Yeah, dude. That's a great run.
Dude, I did that like
this riff coming out of it is so good, dude. Like, I love that part.
Dude, we're coming out of late '80s, early '90s.
Dude, this shit rips. Yeah, dude, that fucking lead is so awesome.
With the bar.
Dude, you fucking nailed it. Honestly, I was just so impressed.
The wah, the cocked and the solo with the fade out.
Telling a story, dude.
I'm getting there, man. I think I'm gonna improve over the weeks and get better at the vocals and everything. But I think I did
dude.
okay with the music there. 7 out of 10.
The music is a fucking 10 out of 10, dude. That shit fucking rules. When you just sent me the fucking the actual music track with no vocals on it, I was like, fuck me, dude. That shit is so fucking good.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in my mid-30s now, so the peak of my playing is unfortunately at the end of my
Here
life.
in our bedrooms.
Yeah. Sitting in front of this fucking giant computer, thinking, "Well, I think this sounds good." But yeah, we're definitely gonna continue doing this. We're definitely gonna continue doing this. We're gonna next week. We will decide what our next challenge will be. We're gonna give me a week off. We're gonna have Grizz recalibrate, and we're gonna.
I've had so much shit going on. Plus, I'm getting like a new fucking puppy tomorrow.
Oh yeah, big news! New
to
addition.
get the whole fucking house organized and like dude, I've been nuts to butts for the past like 2 weeks trying to do a bunch of shit. I've had a fucking ear infection, bro. I've been dealing with all kinds of fucking crazy shit. So unfortunately, I don't have anything to play for you guys right now. But I will make up for it in the weeks to come. I got some inspiration from what you just did here. I gotta man up. I gotta make it happen.
You have to do it, man.
I was thoroughly impressed, man.
I feel like for us, like doing the vocals is very not like personal, but it's like we know it's a weak spot. Oh, my hat is insane. Oh yeah. You know what's up. You know what's up. Yeah. But I feel like because we know like we're not singers, we're not vocalists, it's like very awkward to then like have to do it.
It's intimidating, dude.
Yeah, like because I never wrote lyrics. I did background vocals. Mike, scream this at this point.
Yeah.
I could do like
Sure.
I could do my like mortician type shit. Like I could do that, but that's very like specific. That's very narrow when it comes to the world of metal and vocals and other stuff. So this should be interesting as the weeks go on, because we're not going to do fucking softballs. Not every week is going to be something that's so, I guess, easy for me or whatever.
Dude, I had some real fucking mean ideas. I was thinking about.
What'd you say, necrophagist? That's impossible for me. Like I'm good, man, but I ain't that good, bro. I ain't gonna be able
Unless you're a sleep terror type song, that's possible.
I mean, like, I could do like 35, 40 seconds of that probably. Of like that'd be like a.
But then I was like, let's go the other direction. I'm like, let's fucking make Mike do like a fucking Def Leppard song from like
maybe, yo.
86.
I once did for our man Nahag a Bark at the Moon ripoff song.
Oh, nice. That'd be fun.
So like I can do shit like that, man. I listen to that type of music. It's pretty easy on guitar. It's very simple, very like straightforward shit.
Dude, 80s hair metal on guitar. Yeah, it's riff city.
It's 95% production. You have to match the drum sound, you have to match the guitar, the bass, the vocal style, whatever. But like it's really just
that would be the hard part, honestly, is nailing like the feel of all of that like production that went into that era of music. There's nothing that I've ever produced sounds like that.
Yeah, like tons of reverb on everything, like super clean. Guitars usually like I'd say like lower gain.
Crunchy.
Yeah,
more just crunchy.
Yeah, the yellow channel, if you would.
Yeah,
right?
yellow channel.
But I'm hoping to get a new amp soon. I'm looking to get a Marshall DSL 20,
dude,
so I could start recording.
So yeah, you kind of fucked me up with all this talk, because now your boy's over here amp shopping.
Yeah,
I just sold an amp.
Mini
so
amp.
I'm like, well,
it's the future.
And that's what I looked at. There's two of them in particular that I'm looking at, man. One is like a solid state Soldano that's like a fucking 15-watt desktop amp. But it's solid state, which is the only thing that I'm like, I do kind of want it to be a true tube amp if I'm going to buy something low wattage. That's the whole point of it. I can fucking crank it up, get that tube sound. So Engel makes an iron ball, it's called. That's a 1 watt, a 5 watt, and a 20 watt dimmable fucking
that's the shit, man.
Amp.
That's what you need. I would go with
It's
that,
like-
man. Dude, everybody
It's like
sees-
$700
Fuck yeah. That's it, man. That's
to get that tone, dude. I heard the videos and I was like, this sounds like a fucking Engel, dude. This sounds just like the big ones.
Jerry Noto, just get a fractal. I actually have, funny enough, I have an 11 rack that I fucking love. And that's like primitive when it comes to fucking digital stuff. I would 1000% eventually get like a fractal or something like that. Just to
If I was going to get a fractal, though, I would get a quad cortex. I have so much invested in all the neural DSP stuff already. And they do such a good job with their fucking emulations and everything that I would just use their controller. You know, I do that. There's so many options. That Gojira pack that we both ended up getting is fucking phenomenal.
That's the one that I used for this. Fucking awesome.
My favorite one that they did is the Omega Granifier. That fucking amp rules so fucking hard, man. You get that like 90s aborted fucking tone from like the late 90s out of that thing so easily. It's
Nice.
It's a beast.
I'm funny enough. I'm looking to go back to analog recording. I want to have fun in my room with a pedal board. It just doesn't sound the same. The DI
that too, man.
Yeah, the DI doesn't sound the same when it comes to like using the pedal shit. There's nothing like playing with like the pedal board. But
I will tell you though that since we got the fucking the preamps, the tube preamps, it changes the whole fucking game of how these plugins sound when you're actually playing through a tube, preamplifier before you're going into your DI and stuff. It sounds incredible. It sounds so much better.
I definitely noticed a difference between going directly into my my regular
interface. Yeah.
But I also have, in case you're into this shit at home or you have your own podcast, currently I have my my microphone going into. I got a preamp, then I got a compressor, which evens out, makes things lower, makes things louder. Then I have 2 EQs for each channel of the preamp and compressor. And I run all that before I end up putting everything into the computer. And I find that I'm able to get a really good guitar, like a really precise guitar input. You know what I mean? Like a good fucking volume.
Coming in hot's the best way. As long as you can keep it under control, it's going to sound so much better.
But, you get what you can afford. There's free ones out there. There's free VSTs out there that you can use. But maybe one day we could get sponsored by somebody so I don't have to pay for all this shit anymore. But it's getting towards the end. So I just want to say next week we will be covering Cannibal Campout from 1988. And that's going to be on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@BadTasteVideo podcast at 9 p.m. Eastern time, Tuesday night. A movie that like I'm not a huge fan of. We're going to give it another shot here. Who knows? Maybe I'll see it a little differently now. I've been enjoying a little bit more backwoods horror shit lately. Who knows, man? I don't know. Things change. People change.
I picked this specifically because you have told me in the past that you didn't care for it.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe Mike will give a bad review. We'll see. We'll see if the tides have turned though. It wouldn't be the first time.
Or is it just one of those things where I couldn't find the tape, so I was like, fuck it. It sucks.
Fuck that shit, dude. It's bullshit. Yeah.
Exactly. That's bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, you finally came around to April Fool's Day. You've admitted that's your favorite fucking horror movie.
We definitely should rewatch that one day.
Just rip it apart.
I don't know. Maybe I was just in a bad fucking headspace.
Maybe that's true.
I haven't watched it since.
Watch.
Yeah, maybe it needs a fresh watch. I don't know, but there was some, we do want to recover Killer. We want to revisit that one. That was now that we could show fucking clips and everything, that would be a good one to redo. But
that was like almost 100 episodes ago, so we could do it again.
Cannibal Campout, that's a fun. It's going to be fun on here, especially with the clips and fucking any McBride film is good. All right, when it comes to at least like entertainment value, we'll get our money's worth.
It's gonna be good low budget gore. It's gonna be fun, man.
Yeah, I fucking agree. Grizz, is there anything else you would like to add before we skedaddle.
Oh, just like I had mentioned, I'm adding a new fucking member to my family this week. Fucking little blue heeler pit bull puppy. The father is unknown, so we'll see how fucking big this little shit gets. But I'm gonna decide right here, right now, that the name of this dog officially is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. That's the full fucking name of the fucking. So you will address him as such.
Dude, when you said that the other day, like, I think I may do this. I was like, that's it, man. Like, that dog just has the face. I can see him, like you said before, with the fucking what'd you say, with the Robin Noodle hair?
The ramen noodle hair, yeah, dude. I'll dock that up for sure.
We're gonna have to definitely get that going. But congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Big day. Tots is finally.
So now the pressure's on you to.
We're gonna give it some time. Yeah, we got another couple months.
Some time, but I expect a Terry Funk to be coming down the line.
Male or female Terry Funk.
You can name it Terry Funk.
I was gonna say, Terry's a female name, isn't it?
Yeah, it's androgynous, dude. It could go either way.
Is it one of those things where, like, it's with an I, it's like one, and like with a Y, it's another? Like,
I don't know. I had a cousin named Terry, and that was a dude.
Terry Crews. I knew like a female that my friend's mom's name was Terry though, so I don't know.
I knew a fucking mom also that was named Terry. It was a very mom name.
That's short, right? That's short for
Teresa?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting. So, next week we will be watching Cannibal Campout.
Short for teriyaki. It's I'm fucking stupid. Let's get out of here,
dude. That's fucking good. You name your dog Teriyaki Funk.
Yeah, you call him Terry, dude. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. That's fucking great. Yeah. But next week we're going to be covering Cannibal Campout. Hopefully I see things differently so we can at least laugh a little bit instead of battle to the death over hillbilly horror. Which is something we do it a little bit, but I feel like that's one that we don't cover that often. So it should be a good time. It's not like vampire films. Yeah.
No, we killed that to death.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. But thank you, everybody, for listening. If you're listening via podcast, thank you, everybody, for watching. If you're watching on our YouTube page, thank you, everybody in the chat, for coming and having a great time with us every Tuesday night. We will see you next week with Cannibal Campout.